Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Solo Sikoa mocks Roman Reigns seconds before WWE Bad Blood main event, signals major tribal chief implications. The lights dimmed, and the energy in the arena grew thick with anticipation. WWE Bad Blood was at its peak, and all eyes were on the main event. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief and undisputed WWE Universal Champion, was moments away from stepping into the ring to defend his throne. This was supposed to be his night, the moment when he'd once again assert his dominance and remind the world why he sits at the head of the table. But in a twist that no one saw coming, the focus shifted dramatically when Solo Sikoa, Reigns' trusted enforcer, decided to stir the pot by mocking his cousin mere seconds before the match. His actions hinted at a seismic shift within the bloodline, and the implications for the tribal chief's future were immense. In the weeks leading up to WWE Bad Blood, tensions within the bloodline had been simmering just beneath the surface. Solo Sikoa, who had always been the silent but deadly muscle behind Roman Reigns, started to show subtle signs of frustration. His role as Reigns' enforcer had been unquestioned. He was the loyal warrior who did the dirty work, the man who took orders without question. But recently, fans and even insiders began to sense a change in his demeanor. Sikoa's performances had been spectacular, often single-handedly turning the tide of matches in favor of Reigns or the Usos. Yet, his contributions were frequently overshadowed by Reigns' overwhelming presence. No matter how much effort Sikoa put in, the spotlight was always on the tribal chief. This imbalance didn't sit well with the Samoan powerhouse, and as WWE Bad Blood approached, there were signs that Solo Sikoa was ready to break out of the shadow of his cousin. Seconds before Roman Reigns was set to make his grand entrance for the main event, a hush fell over the backstage area. Reigns was standing in his locker room, his championship draped over his shoulder, his face a mask of stoic determination. Paul Heyman was fussing over the final details, his usual nervous energy on full display as he muttered praise for the tribal chief. Just then, Solo Sikoa stepped into the room, his expression unreadable. He had a look in his eyes that was different from the cold, calculated demeanor he usually carried. Before Reigns could acknowledge him, Sikoa did something that left everyone stunned. He raised his own finger into the air, mimicking Reigns' signature "We the Ones" gesture, and then broke into a sarcastic smirk. The expression on his face wasn't one of respect. It was mockery, pure and simple. Sikoa looked directly at Roman and said, "Acknowledge me, right?" His tone was laced with sarcasm, the mockery dripping from every word. The message was clear. Solo Sikoa was done playing second fiddle. The atmosphere in the room changed instantly, as the mocking gesture sent a ripple through everyone present. Paul Heyman's eyes widened in horror, his hands clutching his face in shock, while Roman Reigns' expression went from surprise to a cold, dangerous glare. For a moment, Roman Reigns didn't say a word. He stood there, eyes locked on Sikoa, as if assessing whether this was some sort of joke or a serious act of defiance. The silence between them was almost unbearable, the kind that makes you hold your breath and wait for the explosion. Reigns' jaw clenched, and his hands tightened around his championship belt, the veins in his arms pulsing with restrained anger. The tribal chief was known for his control, his ability to keep his emotions in check no matter the situation. But this was different. This was an insult not just to his authority, but to the very essence of his identity as the leader of the bloodline. He had spent years building his empire, demanding respect from everyone in his path, and now his own cousin, his most trusted ally, was challenging his throne. Finally, Reigns leaned in, his voice low and laced with a menace that sent chills down the spine of everyone in the room. "Solo," he said slowly, his eyes never leaving Sikoa's, "you better watch yourself. Remember who you're talking to." But Solo Sikoa didn't back down. He met Reigns' glare with a calm, almost dismissive look, and simply said, "Maybe it's time we remember who's really doing the heavy lifting around here." The WWE Universe went into a frenzy when footage of this confrontation was leaked on social media. The clip of Solo Sikoa mocking Roman Reigns quickly went viral, and fans couldn't believe what they were witnessing. The once unshakable loyalty within the bloodline appeared to be cracking right before their eyes, and the implications were massive. Is Solo Sikoa challenging Roman Reigns for control of the bloodline? One fan tweeted, "This is huge. Never thought I'd see the day when anyone would stand up to the tribal chief like this." Another fan posted, "Solo Sikoa mocking Roman Reigns is the biggest power move I've seen in WWE this year. The bloodline civil war is about to get real." Commentators like Michael Cole and Corey Graves couldn't hide their excitement either. As they hyped up the main event, they speculated on what this open display of rebellion might mean for the future of the bloodline. "This could change everything," Graves said with palpable excitement. "If Solo Sikoa is serious about stepping out of Roman Reigns' shadow, the WWE Universe could be in for the most explosive family feud we've ever seen." Implications for the main event. As Roman Reigns walked to the ring for the main event, there was a noticeable change in his demeanor. His usual swagger seemed forced, his confidence tinged with an edge of unease. The words of Solo Sikoa, the blatant act of defiance, were still ringing in his ears. This wasn't just another title defense anymore. This was a battle for respect, a fight to keep control over his empire. Solo Sikoa stood at ringside, his eyes locked on Reigns with an intensity that sent a clear message. He wasn't there to just watch. He was there to make a statement. The tension between them was undeniable, and as Reigns prepared to face his opponent, there was a lingering question on everyone's mind. Would Solo Sikoa interfere in the match? Would he finally make his move to unseat the tribal chief? The clash in the ring. The main event was brutal, with Reigns fighting like a man possessed, determined to show that he was still the undisputed leader of the bloodline. His opponent pushed him to the limit, but Roman's focus seemed divided. Every time he glanced at Solo Sikoa, standing at ringside with that same defiant smirk, he seemed to lose a fraction of his control. As the match reached its climax, Solo Sikoa took a step closer to the ring, causing the crowd to erupt in a mixture of cheers and gasps. Was this the moment he'd strike? Was he about to cost Roman Reigns his title to send a message that the days of bowing to the tribal chief were over? But instead of interfering directly, Solo raised his hand once more, that mocking gesture of "We the Ones," aimed right at Reigns. The message was clear. No matter what happened tonight, the dynamics of the bloodline had changed forever. The aftermath and the future of the bloodline. Roman Reigns ultimately retained his title, but the victory felt hollow. The seeds of doubt had been planted, and Solo Sikoa's open act of defiance was the talk of the WWE Universe. The landscape of the bloodline was now uncertain, the balance of power teetering on the brink of chaos. Backstage, Roman confronted Solo one last time, his face twisted in a mixture of rage and betrayal. "What do you think you're doing?" he demanded. Solo simply shrugged, his face calm, almost bored. "I'm doing what you taught us to do, Roman. I'm making my move." And with that, he walked away, leaving Roman Reigns standing alone. A man who was once invincible, but now faces the greatest threat, not from an outsider, but from within his own family. The WWE Universe knew one thing for sure. Bad blood was just the beginning. The battle for control of the bloodline had only just begun, and the consequences could change the face of WWE forever.